here, born here for 26 years. And one of his friends is here, Prophet Ron Teal from Texas, and he was about a visit to Egypt and a lot of things that we know about Moses and Abraham, that those pyramids were there 1,000 years before Abraham went to Egypt. So here's Prophet Ron.
Hey, how are you? There's just a lot we've learned. I was telling George about our experience in Egypt. I've been now, I think, 7 times and spent a lot of time with people in Egypt. Friend of mine has been an archaeologist slash educator there for over 30 years. But whenever I go, I talk to a lot of Egyptian people about really what's going on and what's happening. And I'm finding out a lot about the history of Egypt. And they began to talk to me about Abraham and Moses and many of those. And I was standing one day by the Great Pyramid looking at 3 pyramids in the distance. Whenever I did, an archaeologist walked up beside me and said, "What are you looking at?" And I said, "Those 3 pyramids." He said, "Those were here 1,000 years before Abraham came the first time." I was shocked. He said, Egypt, we knew who he was. Whenever he was adopted into Pharaoh's family, he became a royal. He didn't have a wooden rod, he had a glass rod capped in gold because he was a royal. And then we also found out that also the Pharaoh that he dealt with, his brother. And that Moses, when that Pharaoh died, Moses was the next in line to become the Pharaoh of Egypt. And so there was a lot of dealing with that. And I said, "Well, where did you learn this?" He said, "Oh, this is our history. We have learned this in our history." And he said, "This is part of Egypt." And he said, "There's one other thing that you don't know." And I said, "What is it?" He said, "When he was adopted into Pharaoh's family, he was given an inheritance, and his inheritance was the land of Canaan." And I began to realize at that point that what happened was when God let this given by God and reclaimed for the purpose of the kingdom. It's given by God and reclaimed for the purpose of the kingdom. So there's just a lot of things about Egypt we learn that we don't know in America. And it's just the history of that country. And you go study it, it's pretty amazing what God does. It really is.
Amen. Thank you, Prophet Ron.
Did you know, Tom?